Disclaimer. The information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent his messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs, to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness, by giving, will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to and you possess. Otherwise you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of a president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 387th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the public teachings in English. My name's Rick Kremen, and I will be your host once again in this weekly series of continuous workshops. And once again, we have the pleasure and honor of being joined by members and support members of the Universal Council who are presenting today's program. So let me get that program up here. Just bear with me a second while I find it. Here we go. Okay. And here we are. Please go ahead, either Dean or Mark.
Thank you, Rick. Welcome to the One Planet, One Nation, One Race for the justice and peace of mankind. We all know that being present in the moment is what brings us to a position of peace. And again, once listening to the presentation of the introduction, it says each one according to their strength, to their position. Every soul, every single soul, all shine, with no exception of the physicality. So the world leaders, the conditions that we find ourselves in, the present moment, all souls are equal. They all have a beauty, they all shine. Some are lower, some are higher, but we're all equal. So when we give from our soul to elevate another, we bring them into a position of peace, of beauty. Remember, we're not talking to the physicality. We're talking about energy, soul energy, that transmutes all physical boundaries. It doesn't see the physical side. It doesn't need this. So when you make a wish that is pure of heart, of soul, and you give to another, you can create a condition of beauty within inside yourself, your structure, and then this is unlimited as the soul of a man, and it travels endlessly across the unicos, across this planet instantly. It's instant communication from the soul to another soul. There are no boundaries, there's no barriers, there's no fences. They don't exist. So when you make a heartfelt soul wish to bring peace and touch the other soul, the creation point gives unconditionally if the soul has matured, has given in the correct way. And when many souls come together as one soul, and we give unconditionally to the souls, the hyperactive children, and others, the beauty of our soul engagement to the elevation of their soul, we make it available. We make it available as a gift from the creation. And their soul will either accept or not. But the pure intention carries forward, transcends all physical matter, and touches the soul of creation. And we all have that beauty within us, that initial point, that energy pack, that transfer of energy that creates a seed of intention of beauty in the right way. So when that pureness of heart and soul is present within, it transcends and becomes part of everything, which we are all part of everything, each and every one of us. Every single soul shines. Every single one. And from the creation point, when it looks back at this beautiful blue planet and it just sees lots of shining stars. And from a viewpoint of further away than inside looking out, but looking from the outside looking in, you can see the structure, you can see the beauty. And the creation, the creator, sees all in this moment. All that's happening, everything is recorded. And every soul receives the gift of the balance of the creation. So welcome to the One Planet, One Nation, One Race. Be pure of heart and soul, of soul in particular. And enjoy this moment. Be present. And welcome the beautiful members and support members of the Universal Council whose souls are here to represent and to give unconditionally for humanity and all created creatures to receive the beauty of the creation. Create the wish, the intention, and let's see this beautiful blue planet shine the way it was always meant to. Welcome all. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Rick. So I'll read this one. We, the Universal Council and supports, give from our soul to elevate the soul of all warmongers, to realize the peace ways of living. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of the people who are affected by floods and other man-made adverse situations across the planet, for the whole humanity to come out of these conditions with a stronger position.
We, the Universal Council, elevate all souls in existence to understand the ethos of Mitra to prepare for space, the final frontier. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, through our central energies, create the conditions for the enlightenment of all attending the July 19th symposium in Vienna, where the cosmic ray plasma transmutation system will be presented, that the matter state of health understanding be superseded by the energy state of health understanding here on this planet and in space travel colonization programs of the near future.
We, the Universal Council, give through our soul permanent peace for all souls in existence. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, to give freely from our soul to connect and elevate all leaders to work as one soul in one direction with Keshe Foundation and Ray Corporation to achieve peace through the technology nature for peace as one nation, one planet, one race. Our wish is our command.
Next, we have the connection between souls with Mehran.
Hey, hello, it's Mehran. You support Farsi language. It says, I love you, my soul. I live you and I love with you. And I adore you. It means that I acknowledge my soul. I acknowledge this relation between my soul of physicality, my body, and my soul energy center. And I show my love and happiness to coexist with my soul, because only together we can achieve the highest levels as human beings. And as we are here to elevate our souls, we are here to develop our souls for a better life after. The problem is we don't see our soul. It's not tangible. We can only see it by the effects. And we can feel it by our emotions. So after that, we have soul connection. I do soul connection in Farsi language for Farsi people, I hope. So it goes as همه میدونیم که ما یک سول در بدنمون داریم جسمانی که امور بدن رو حل میکنه، که رابطه داره با هر سلول بدن، با هر روح هر سلول بدن. و یک روحی داریم که انرژی هستش و در وسط مغزه و این دوتا با هم رابطه دارن از طریق احساسات. و ما نمیبینیم روحمونو، ولی با نشانه هاش میتونیم متوجهش بشیم. ما سعی میکنیم با تمام کسایی که مثل ما فکر میکنن در همین لحظه روحامونو به هم وصل کنیم، میشینیم جای آرام یا هر جایی هستیم و نفس با آرامی میکشیم، چون گاهی اوقات با نفس کشیدن به هر طریقی که میخوایم میتونیم روحمون رو آزاد کنیم که با دیگران تماس بگیره و روحمون رو آزاد میکنیم و با دیگران که همینجا نشستن الان و همین هدف رو دارن روحمون رو با اونها وصل کنیم. وقتی که روحمون با اونها وصل شد، از قلبمون بدون شائبه عشق میدیم، چون هرچی ما عشق بی شائبه بدیم خودمون رشد میکنیم. اصلا ما این دنیا اومدیم برای عشق بی شائبه و سرویس و تمام کارهایی که ما برای نصر انجام دادیم باعث میشه که در آینده ادامه این بدن، روزی که دیگه بدن نیست، روح ما جای بهتری داشته باشه. بنابراین ما سعی میکنیم روحمون رو با دیگران وصل کنیم در همین لحظه و فکر کنیم به هدف ما که صلح برای بشریت، صلح و برادری و برابری و عدالت، چون صلح بدون عدالت وجود نداره. بنابراین همه ما برای یک آینده بشریت با صلح، با برابری، برادری، عدالت و همه چیز داشتن برای همه به طور مساوی. و این در کش فاندیشن امکانش هست با این تکنولوژی که کم کم ما داریم پیدا میکنیم. بنابراین سعی میکنیم برای صلح دعا کنیم، روحامون رو به هم وصل کنیم و به این صلح فکر کنیم که قابل انجام هست و همه ما در صلح زندگی خواهیم کرد. و یه مدتی چند دقیقه تا اونجایی که میتونین در این حالت میمونیم. دومین خبر اینه که ما هر روز چهارشنبه شب ساعت 9 شب به وقت اروپا، ساعت 10:30 شب به وقت تهران الان، روحامون رو با هم وصل میکنیم، همگی در راه صلح، در راه موفقیت بشریت، در راه موفقیت به رفتن به فضا و عدالت در دنیا فکر میکنیم با هم و امیدواریم که به نتیجه میرسیم. حالا چند لحظه روحا رو به هم وصل. متشکرم. En fait, c'est it's connection of the souls, and we all wish and imagine a world with peace, justice, brotherhood, that everybody is serving, everybody is giving unconditional love, and we are ready to go to space and choose the places we love in space, because the space is way too big. We have a lot of things to do then. So we just connect the souls for this goal. A few moments. Thank you. The Universal Council invites the Keshe family and the Universal family in unifying all at the soul level every time and every day, and at 9 PM CET, to give freely from our souls, to connect and elevate all leaders, to work as one soul in one direction, with Markray Corporation and Keshe Foundation, to achieve peace through technology in exchange for peace, as one nation, one planet, one race.
Okay, thank you, Mehran.
And as we heard in the opening video, the time of change is here. And we're all part of bringing that change. So if it's your wish to see peace, we can start exploring it on the energy dimension. And you're all invited to participate. Again, the silence is not needed, as Mr. Keshe explained in a very short answer to Rick in the Universal Council about bringing in this dimension of silence, or the dimension of physicality. As I've said, as Mr. Keshe said, that we don't need the silence. We can create the time within ourselves. And again, we're just exploring our energy dimension. And collectively at this point in time, at 9 p.m., we're meeting on the energy level, and this is the way we bring the peace, is through our energies, through our wishes. So you're all invited to be part of this change for humanity and the entire universe, as I understand it.
Very good. Thank you, Mark. Next, we have an excerpt about becoming a Universal Council member. And it's from Mr. Keshe. It's just a couple of minute video here. I'll play that now.
There's something which I should have made announcement. As we are structuring and in a new development of Keshe Foundation, is worldwide application and implication. as we set up the structure for Universal Council, a number of Universal Council members have become old and they reach the age of 60, and they serve during the 60 years they are there till 61. They to run the functionality of the operation of the what we call energy dimension, the Universal Council members, if you want to become, please consider and let your soul decide of many languages around the world, as these will be announced very soon internationally, and we expect the souls to serve. And if it's from the knowledge seekers who understand the technology with dimension of the soul, you can apply for to be added to and become a member of the Universal Council. The Earth Council is appointed by the Keshe Foundation on the grounds of true structure of the nationality, understanding the culture, that there is no prejudice by physical dimension of the borders. And so if you feel your soul is there to serve humanity in expansion and the growth of it, just apply for it at the Keshe Foundation, or send the email to info@keshe.foundation, say I would like to be a member of the Universal Council. We receive this regularly, and now we going to expand this very rapidly due to what is to come and what is to be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear Vic. I also want to add, and I also welcome from all over the world. Welcome to join the Universal Council members and Universal Council support membership, as we are all universal souls. This is a welcome, a call to all human beings to take part in this transition time to serve the humanity. So I will say, from any language, from anywhere. So you are most welcome. Please do join. Send the email at the particular email address, and then please, it will be like, the energy of love, light, and peace, and it will spread more. I mean, elevate more people than ever happened. So thank you, my dear beautiful souls. And also we invite you to connect with a member of the Universal Council to send us your questions to be answered live each week, and or the needs of your community. And of course, I will say the Universal Council website is updating, and it will be updated very soon, beautifully. And um, I thank you from the core of my heart, gratitude to Keshe Foundation and all the Keshe Foundation community working for this elevation of, well, I will say, humanity in this time. And if you have any question, or, well, we are all knowledge seekers, dear beautiful souls, a question or a sharing or an experience to say, or even we can ask you, if you please do join the Telegram of different languages of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. That will be very, very lovely of you, I will say. So welcome to the different telegrams, dear beautiful souls. Share your love, share your experience, share your transmuting, my dear. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us as one soul. Salam, namaste, salute.
Next, we have the commandments, and we're now on commandment number 21. Thou shalt not possess.
Thank you, my dear. The commandment, thou shalt not possess. Completion of the missing commandment by Shriman Mehran Tavakoli Keshe. A beautiful soul indeed. And we love him so much. So thou shalt not possess. I will say that the position attached with all this worldly, I mean the physical material things, and even anything with an emotion, we shouldn't do that. Well, it is not easy. I know we shall not do that. We have to let go of many things. Like when I was in this meeting, joining this meeting, I was in a hospital, and there was a serious patient. I know her from many years. She came as a bride, and I was also young then, a beautiful bride then. My I was when I was in school. His husband was 3 class senior than me, Mr. Roy, and now she has is suffering from cancer, lungs cancer, and she has chemotherapy going on. She like have this sickness from all time because of the chemotherapy. And yeah, today in the morning, his husband told us that she was again admitted to hospital and she's quite serious. And we jumped and out of our house to to see her, to meet her. And I thought maybe this is the last time I'm meeting her. I was also, when I was in the GAR, um, I was like draining myself with the attachment with her from my younger time. And I was thinking that she came, I saw her, and the all things coming one by one in my mind, and my heart was like started melting. The same thing is happening that I have possessed this, and how can I speak to her like this? How can I? And when I was in the hospital, when I see her, she was quite okay, and I was so relieved by seeing her. And she was talking, drinking coffee, and I said that, uh, um, Manamita, I, seeing you, it's a great relief. And then when I sat down to talk with her, me and my sister, she was, she's continuously talking about his boy, his son, his his daughter, how she's engaged and where she has gone and where she has brought a sari. I'm so like, she never talked about herself, never at that time. And I then told her, have you thought about yourself, my dear? And this commandment came from within me, you shall not possess. And in a way, in a way, I have a soul connection with her for a moment, and she's she me and her eyes met at once, and I told her, "Have you thought of yourself, my dear?" Yes, I do, but you don't take it seriously. Balance your emotion. These are all yes, these are all truth that the daughter is in engagement, the dog is not good, and this and that. But what about you? Can you be yourself for some time? And then this commandments like awaken me, don't possess anything. You shall not possess. This possession means we always, I also was like that, like have the cooking completed, have the dining table is clear and the bathroom is clear and all the time. And I was drained, like what I can say. And then I understood that I am self. I have to be like, I love you, my soul. I adore you. I live with you. I love with you. And then I understand how this possession harmed me in a way, deteriorated with me. And I was like somebody is pulling my leg from beneath, and I'm trying to go forward, struggling for that, struggling for breathing, struggling for everything. Even I was smiling, and that was fake at that time. So now I understand. Even telling her that was a relief. I told her that Balance your emotion, my dear. This will be, this is not you. Take care of yourself too, my dear. Breathe in, breathe out. Understand, focus on breathing. We don't possess this thing. I don't know if she understood, but maybe she's a very good lady. Maybe she will understand. She always listens to me. So I was, when I was going to the hospital, I was a little sad. I was very sad. And when I approached the hospital and talked with her and tell her that thou shalt not possess, you adore yourself also, self as a creator too. This will create this new you as I have been through. And she knows about me everything. So then when I came back, I was in relief and I was, I was smiling before joining the meeting and before joining this presentation. So I will say, my dear beautiful soul, take what you need, only that thou shalt not possess. Possession, like obsession, like, this is mine, this is like we have to let go all these things, many, many things. That is not needed anymore. So I will say that prepare yourself for this. And I think I love you, my soul is the best way to ask your higher self. So thank you, my dear beautiful souls. Possession is like, the possession of a spirit and the exorcism is going on and everything is fake. But then we can turn it into beauty and totality. Many of us have done that. That was a struggle. But then we have done it. Possession doesn't matter anymore. What we need is matter. So I will say, thou shalt not possess. Thank you so much. Anybody, any beautiful soul else want to share, my dear? Thank you
Yes,
so much.
thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you,
Oh,
Shweta. Well, this one I love personally because I practice it as much as I can. And like any other moral values, it's a proposition and not obligation, because we cannot be obliged to do things or not to do things. And the first thing I think, if it was known 3,000 years ago how the things had changed in the history of man, and for these people that this teaching was coming to at the time. If Moses had given these teachings, how could it be different? But anyway, that's how it is today. And the thing is that the belongings, the material possession take our attention. In 24 hours, we put a lot of time to clean things, to displace things, to think about them, to think about buying new things. Sometimes people get jealous of others who have, like it's fashion these days. I have this, she has this, I want bigger one. So their whole life, precious life, goes for having. While we have our soul, we can educate ourselves, we can use in a better way our time. The whole thing, in my experience, is not a soft road which goes all the time as we planned. Sometimes we say things, we believe things, and then something happens that in the meanwhile, we don't do it the way we had planned, but we fall down. But as long as we have something to keep, and we can raise again and continue. So it's important to have something of value in our soul, in our education, in our life, to fall down to the lowest and then come back, because that's life. And so it's not when some people say, I have achieved this, means they have achieved it forever. They might lose everything, they might come again and have. So as far as happiness takes a lot of time to do shopping, to come and to arrange it, and then to change it to another new one, etc., etc. That takes a whole life. That's why I understand why the old people don't want to waste the time for buying new things, because they know they don't have time. They know that with whatever we have to take the most of our time, because we are living. So what's the precious things in it? The other night I was dreaming I have a house in a garden, which is not my house. It's just a temporary one. And then I had to leave and to give it to some other people who were coming, like renting or whatever. And there were so many things, and I was trying in a short time to take whatever is precious between all these things. And I was burdened by how it might take time to take whatever is needed and precious. I just think maybe life is like that. At some time, we want to see what's really precious and might be useful between all these accumulations. And when I heard first Mr. Keshe talking about, again in the same context, about the same not possess, I tried to do it, even though it's in the Buddhist texts and everything, that possession is making your way longer and waste your time. So it was very it was very hard. It was really sacrifice at first. I thought if I do that, I lose everything. I don't know, something like that. And then I got used to it and nothing happened. I didn't lose anything. Absolutely didn't lose anything. It's just that my soul is more free. Sometimes, like, my soul goes first and takes my body after that. When I put my attention on something, it becomes successful. When I put my emotion and my soul, things get solved. So I think when I compare myself with others who say all the time they have problems because they're so much mixed up with all the things they have, all the things, whatever, even maybe children, I don't know, a lot of things, money, different accounts, different source of money or whatever. Just to take care of this takes a lot of time. And so when people have something, they want to have it more. It becomes like a game. I want it more, more. It shouldn't stay the same. So imagine all the time we lose for that. Instead of taking something which is for my soul, which goes after my body is not able to come with me, I take it with me. And that's what makes my future. I have possibility to make my future, but I'm losing it because I just think about these things of this world And that's the only thing which matters. So I think if we really, not everybody is like that, but if we really believe that there is another life, and if we make of ourselves a small plant which is growing correctly, then as a big tree, we have more opportunity, we have more positions being such a beautiful tree than a small plant in this world. So what we can do is making it beautiful, right plants, and use everything in multiple, in like in real beauties. If you have green color here, in other side, which is unlimited, it's a fantastic color, green color, with all perspectives and all different shades. So, I mean, so just detach from money or things like that doesn't make any difference. It just makes the soul, I believe, more free and light to move, to be free to decide, not to be attached. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Marinez. It's Dean here. I'd just like to say something. Marinez, thank you for that, your wonderful wisdom and beauty that you've just shared with all of us. And I think we all felt the the intention and the knowledge that that is part of what you've just said. And I really thank you for that. So thank you, Marinez. So I'd like to I'd also like to read, because some of the things that are put in the foundation, the words are very simple sometimes, but the meaning behind it is so powerful. And going on from what Marinez was just saying, I'm just going to read something which is part of the Universal Council, and it's to do with this what we're speaking about at the moment, which is the completion of the missing commandments by Mehran T. Keshe. And this is one of the ones that Mr. Keshe spoke about. So one of the things, when you mature in a soul, thou shalt not possess. Possession brings kingship. Possession brings diminishing the others. When you share and you serve, you don't possess. Because you all possess the same. You only possess something when you don't have. And you want to get to have. Those words are spoken from the trueness of creation, from an understanding of the presence on planet Earth. And as Marinez was speaking about, if this knowledge was shared from day one, the creation point of the physicality and what we're experiencing would be completely different. And these teachings have been distributed across the planet. And now we have, in addition, a new understanding, a higher understanding of what the truth was behind these teachings. And each one of them brings such a profound, beautiful energy with it. When you really let your soul become part of it, when you absorb it into your ethos, your understanding, you don't block it. You have the cup that's full, empty the cup and let it all in, whatever the saying is. But when you let this come into you and you really let these words resonate with you, then the meanings start to change, the energy changes, And the beautiful story, the memory, the condition that Marinez was speaking about. And where does it come from? The intention and the understanding. It's so powerful. And each and every one of us receives this knowledge the moment that we open to it. And we realize that the creation is talking to us, is part of us, that deeper understanding. And so thou shalt not possess. And that comes in many shapes and forms. And yes, we all in physicality have to, possess something. But maybe we can share more, give a little bit more. And it can be very simple things. It doesn't always have to be the biggest thing. But the intention is the creation point, the manifestation of the physical portion of it. Because the moment you think something, you create. And so if you go beyond that point of thinking and connect to the divine, the beauty, the soul, the creator, then you'll find that you start to experience some of the things that Marinez was speaking about then, the colors and the other things. And it is a real heartfelt soul intention, beauty that once you understand a little of it and you start to practice it, just set the intention, then you will start to feel it and it will become part of you. And then that becomes the bigger picture, the totality. The dream gets bigger and bigger and more colorful and more beautiful for each and every one of us. Thank you very much, Marinez, and thank you all very much. Thank you.
Dean, does that mean I have to take a vow of poverty?
This is
do I have to take all my clothes off and give them to the poor?
Some have gone this far, Mark. I know.
And you know where they ended up, right?
Yeah, right.
Or is he talking about detachment? Remember, I believe you can live a very comfortable life, but be detached from it. As we understand, the wealth is within us and not this idea of belonging to us. The whole idea of possessing, belonging. So I think you can enjoy and create a comfortable life for yourself with still being detached from it, realizing the wealth is within us, not belonging to us. I think this is part of the key. And as we heard in that creation of the Universal Council, is the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne or gathering all these material possessions we do in the physicality. So I think you can live a comfortable life, but just be detached from it. We're just sort of caretakers in a way for a short period of time. So this is my thoughts on this. We don't have to take a vow of poverty. This is the whole idea that we have as much as we need, but we don't necessarily need more than we need.
Maybe we have to take a vow of wealth. A vow of wealth of the soul.
Yes. Yes. The wealth is within us, not belonging to us. And this is where every man makes a mistake, including myself.
Mark, thank you for that. Those wonderful words that you've just spoken and your understanding. All of you guys, you have such a beautiful understanding, and this knowledge that we're sharing, from our own perspective of what we've experienced, and through the teachings and through being, part of the knowledge seekers all across the planet. And we know we're all knowledge seekers. Each and every one of us, we're all part of the creation. So it brings it brings the joy, and when and the happiness, and it doesn't have to be a song and a dance or all the other parts of it. It's just letting the energy of the knowledge become part of you. And then when you share this with the next soul, not preaching, but just share your understanding. And then this is what the foundation does. It doesn't judge. It just allows you to realize your understanding of the creation point and then share it.
And it's then an enlightenment.
Enlightenment, yes. And the next soul receives the beauty. As you said, Mark, yes, the enlightenment. Thank you.
We have a question in YouTube regarding this, and from Tender, who says, how does this commandment then fit into the context of place, position, and possession? Is it the same kind of possession, something different?
Yeah, there's many ways to possess. We were talking, part of it we're talking about is the physical side, the physicality side. We're talking about all the, the materialistic things we have around us, that we gather around us, are part of our experiences. The energy side of us doesn't need any of this. It just is present in the moment and receiving the possession of being placed and in a sphere of an environment that we're present within. But that is only through the containment of what we believe, what we think. If we strip away the belief of the thinking and go to the detachment of the realization of the possession, where are we? Where do we sit then? Where is our position then? Are we enlightened? Are we in a space of possession and time that is present with the Creator? Where does that sit?
Yes, if Mr. Keshe says that we have the position, I'm a man, we have the position. And position, he said, it's the amino acid and magnetic gravity of our being and our soul.
Yes.
So it goes to, I don't need anything. Why? Because anything that I want with my soul, with my emotion, I'm able to create it. I'm able to create what I want as much as I have this soul and this emotion. I create it for my body. You understand? It's kind of being dependent on my force of spirit and soul rather than my beings who save me, my things who save me. My things are here. If they are not here, I can never replace them. No, as long as we have the soul, we have the emotion, in this physicality, we can create things. We can think of how to create things, how to gather the things again. So why should I be attached to this only? I can again create what I need.
Mehran, so I ask you the question then. So what happens when the soul of the man whom understands part of it and takes a position to ignore it and do something else, and they see physical effects in the environment around themselves and other conditions, can this soul correct this position from the moment the intention flips?
We need trust.
Mm-hmm.
If we have trust, if you have experience that there has been conditions that I really needed something to be done, I had no way, and it happened. You hear me?
I hear you. Yes, I hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So if you have trust on that, you have experience of that, and so we can repeat it again. All we need is our soul is this system of magnetic, gravitational, and our emotion. And then we put our trust and we try once, twice, until I learn how it feels, how it is created. And then we learn how it is done. Second time, we can repeat it again and create what we want. That we can even make things happen in the future. As long as we put our true emotion, our pure emotion, our absolute urgent need, emotional need, because we have that power of emotion. We have seen it in the history. We have seen Moses who, they say, opened the ocean. How could he do that? He was a man because he had this trust. He had put his trust on his soul that things happen the way it is supposed to go for him. It needs trust, it needs experience, it needs doing it, practicing, and until we are sure that it can be done.
Thank you, Mehran.
Thank you.
Okay, perhaps we can move on to the knowledge and understanding of the 598th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And I believe Stefania is available
Yes.
for this. Hi, go ahead.
Can you
please.
hear me properly? Because I'm in different place.
It sounds
Different
very,
position.
very clear right now. Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
perfect. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Yes, I'm gonna start. My name is Stefania, and I'm representing the Universal Council for the Italian Language. And I'm gonna, summarize again the 598. That was, again, another mind-blowing workshop. If you were the lucky one to be present in this workshop, I'm sorry if you miss it, but nevertheless, Mr. Keshe said you can try with the recording if you can have the same effect. In this workshop was the beginning of a new teaching, and Mr. Keshe, as we were listening the workshop, he connect us to the machine, and he said for the first time he will create condition for us to all the knowledge seeker who were in tune on last Thursday to create time. So it will be then up to us how we will interact with the fields. So the machine and the Keshe Foundation would have provide the condition by providing the fields, and then it's us to, and those fields were connected to our soul, and then was up to us how we then interact with those fields. And this will be a parallel of what will happen in the Vienna Congress, that it's next weekend, the 19th of July. So it was very interesting because again, he said, he stressed again on the fact that it's very important for us how to understand how we create time. And it went back again to remind us about the fact that we got the matter state side, and that plays a position and a possession. And this one will link and connect with the energy side, the emotion, the intellect, and the enlightenment. And it go more in depth on this. So it starts just on said that the link is the emotion, no? Like it told us already in the past. And then he make an example, for example, no, in the physical time you have, for example, the place can be the womb of the mother, and the position, so the structures of the child, and then the possession is a two different plasma fields that are interacting, and they by interacting they will create the child. So, but it's very interesting because he said so this is the physical side, and then the energy side will be the motion, so the love between the man and the woman, and then desire that they want to make a child. And the child and the creation of the child would be the two soul that come to agreement on creating this new dimension. So here again you see the physical and the energy side connected together, and that connection is through the motion. And he said that nothing can happen if there is not the motion. They will connect the two. The soul, the souls are the one that choosing, and the physicality is the one who just delivering. So it was really, really very interesting because they tell you again and make you understand more. But also said that it's very interesting what he said this time, that the physicality is as partially in their hands. Even in the enlightenment, for example, he said that the enlightenment, so on the energy side, yes, like explained in the previous teaching, the enlightenment comes from your past experience, the way you react, what to happen emotionally. So the emotion you're receiving, then you will have a reaction, and the way you react is due to your intellect, so past experience, if you remember, this said in the past teaching, and this equal the how much you will enlight. But he said also, don't forget that enlightenment is not just this, but is also the connection to the universe, and therefore that's why the commandment are very important, the one that we just read now. Because he said, don't forget, because the enlightenment is connected with the universe, with the energy of the universe. That means that if someone does something wrong now, or your granddad done something he shouldn't do, and he passed away, the grandchild will then take the consequences of the action of the granddad, because the enlightenment is also connected to the universe, and therefore it's connecting to God is like we can say this how you call him? I forgot the name. Let me see. It's got a name. 1 second, I have to remember. It's got this memory bank. This memory bank. So every action you are doing now, he's recording, and this is very important to understand. So, and he said in the teaching in the past that whatever is your conduct now, it's not just going to affect you and will happen to you in the next cycle, but also it's going to affect the future generation. That's why what we are doing here, or whatever you're doing here, is not just for you. Is also is gonna prepare the ground for the future generation. So here we do something, not just for us, but we set in the future for the future generation, because we got this memory bank. Because he's saying is the soul really. You got a book and a bookkeeper. So one is the soul and one is the physicality. So it's always the soul that will write down everything you do. So, and even those you think no one can see you, or it's just a little things, it will have effect every action you said, it will have effect. So that's why it's important to, you can call them commandment, but if you take off the word commandment, to have a correct conduct, and it's very important to also learn that for transmutation, because he also said that for the transmutation, for example, it's important to have correct conduct, because he said to transmute, he said we need to go to 0 time, and then from 0 time we need to create any time we like. So to go back to 0 time means that you have to understand how the energy side is connected, the motion of the so for example, if you understand how the motion of the energy side is connected to the motion of the physical side, then if you understand this connection between the two emotions, then you will have a say. You will be able to change the place and the position of where you are now by creating a new emotion. They will bring a new dimension. Okay, will bring a new position, new place, and a new connection between the energy side and the physical side. So this is very important to understand. And to bring the time to 0, you have to have a correct conduct. So you will not be able to do it if you don't have a correct conduct. That's why I also make the example of the fact that the good things about the plasma technology, it works on those principles. Therefore, it cannot be doing any wrongdoing. So anyone who does anything wrong, or anyone who commit anything they shouldn't do, they will not be able to transmute. They will not be able to create time, because it's the soul who is in charge. So and you have to match the soul of the man. So you make the example, for example, of the earth and the sun, and the season, like winter, summer, spring. So it make the example where the soul of the earth is the sun. So the earth is just like how you said, I can't how you said,
Conduit?
carrier is a carrier. The earth is like a carrier, and so the season are happening only because of the interaction with the earth and the sun in that position. If you change the inclination, if you remember the past teaching, the position of the earth or inclination of the earth, already you have no more season. So that's why the things that set the time is the energy fields. That's why it's important for us to understand how can we interact with the energy fields. Because if we don't understand that and how to interact, we have no say on the creation of the time. So I think I said everything. Then there is the second part. The second part, it's very, very great, because he started to give the announcement of the workshop that's gonna be in the next weekend, and it makes many other announcements that I think maybe we're gonna go through now. We Mark, I don't know if you got any videos, Mark. Yeah, so I have to just say that I was present in this workshop, on the last workshop, and I did felt the fields, but it was really strange because I felt them, and usually I'm translating. So it was strange because I was translating, but I was finding like I was in a different zone area, but I managed to translate. But it was funny because after the pause, for mistake, I put the volume to 0, no? So for a while, I couldn't hear anything. And in my head, I thought that maybe we were taking some time, we were not talking without realizing I put the volume down because my phone, my computer suddenly crashed. It crashed in the middle of the pause. So when I restarted, I didn't realize I had no volume. So I thought there was like silence. And I was keeping feeling these feels. I think, oh, I can really feel them. But then when I listen the workshop another time, listening, because the volume was 0, he said, on there, I thought, how come I continues to feel those feels? So I'm wondering if it was my soul creating them or so it was really interesting. But I hope that Mr. Keshe will do more of this experiment with the mass. I really love them when he does on Thursday, where everyone can feel them. But usually the machine he attached us on last Thursday are the machine that you use on every month. Yes, and if you have cosmic ray ball, if you have cosmic ray material, I definitely recommend you to keep them present with you in the workshop, monthly workshop, or in maybe weekly in case he does another trial. I hope he's gonna do more than that. I don't know if anyone wants to add anything. I think I said most of the first part. Don't know if anyone want to add anything on the second part.
All right, it sounds like we've covered it then. And I can play an excerpt from the 598th Knowledge Seekers Workshop with announcements from Mr. Keshe. So maybe that will complete what we need to hear from that.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, Stefania. Okay, here we go. It's about 7 minutes.
Hello. We are the Keshe Foundation. Our mission is to bring peace on Earth and join humanity with the universal community. We wish and work to bring man as equal to all beings in the universe. By teaching plasma science and technology equally to everyone, no one is left out and no one is abused due to lack of knowledge. By donating to us, you can help achieve this goal. keshefoundation.org/donate.
First of all, before I forget, those of you who are coming to Vienna for the conference, please book your reservation on the site we have already released for next Saturday, sorry. It's from 3 to 6 o'clock and in the afternoon. And just go to the links provided or send a request if you don't have the link to info@keshe.foundation. We try to post that everywhere possible, and we try to inform you as whatever. It'll be a enlightening and in an amazing, what I call, presentation, trying to bring a new technology and new understanding into public in a different way, as we are there by invitation of the association. We try to be very clear in what the technology sits and where it stands and the rest of it. In the last session of July session on a Friday, as we said, we bring you to a position to transmute for yourself. And today we set up a system in the background, and I hope many of you have understood it, especially if you had a cosmic ray, what we call balls with you, to test it, to understand it. The system will be ongoing for a few more minutes and then we switch it off and we withdraw. But it'll be interesting to see how you feel the difference between on and off condition after bringing up for you to understand your central energy and what you call the work of the soul. In this, it'll allow us to do the first transmutation tests, which we are doing in the background for what we call development of the technology and how things are taking place in our structure and our work. On the other hand, please, in the next week or two, pay close attention to market operation and what will happen in the stock market with market. It is important that those of you who have bought shares receive your certificates and confirmation of. You got to understand, Markray is the financial arm of the Keshe Foundation, is international operations in what we call new development of technologies, and our cooperation and collaboration with many countries which are coming up will directly affect the share value. And make sure that your shares are registered, that in the future you'll not, or you'll not be what we call, say, given fake shares or fake valuation of the shares and the rest of it. As I said, the valuation of the shares in the stock market does not reflect in what the Keshe Foundation does, because we are doing some works that we have to put in the right way for it to indicate its position and what value. So please, those of you who bought shares, make sure you have your shares in your hand, and at the same time be aware that Keshe Foundation has received 2.8 million shares for disbursement to support the Keshe Foundation to provide and solve the problem we are currently in, which we hope that we can do that in the next few weeks. Understand your, what I call, the position in the stock market, and those of you who ask us to, you would like to purchase shares from us, the shares are given at a value which has been offered by the knowledge seekers to us to support the work of the Keshe Foundation, and does not reflect what is in the stock market share prices. In a way, you're investing in the future of the foundation work. And at the same time, the valuation will reflect on its own work in the coming time. In respect to work of the, what I call, the Keshe Foundation and the work of us with space work and what I call the defense technology, we will call upon many of you who work in this industry to join us in a very near future. If you are in a space, plasma, nuclear, and in what I call quantum physics, quantum communication, satellites, and you'd like to work with the Keshe Foundation, let us know, as we're creating new opportunities in the next 2-3 weeks that we are looking for elite scientists to join us. The word will go out, we'll promote it through our work through market cooperation. But if you're knowledge seekers in this field, please join us, let us know, and then we'll bring you in with your knowledge you have in the plasma of the Keshe Foundation, to set up the next steps for what we call the space technology development.
Rick,
Yeah, something happened to the video here. Let me try to get back to the presentation, I think.
in the meantime, I can say something I forgot before, very small, that the workshop for last Thursday was for people who had was perfect for people who had anxiety, skin problem, Alzheimer, and addiction, problem with skin, any skin changes, any asthma attack, any condition in the body, because the session of last week, the machine were set up to make an environment where your body will repair yourself. So that's why it's also good for anyone if you can report any improvements or any changes. I have to say, when I started workshop, I had a little bit of sore throat because my boyfriend, he was not very well, and therefore I caught up something. But then after the workshop, everything disappeared. I was completely fine. I'm still fine now, so okay, just this. So please report back how you felt, even weeks after, or days after, or months after, if you see any changes in your life.
Yes, and I could add to that Mr. Keshe is especially interested in testimony from those who have used the system for addiction and may have been psychologically changed and feel better and have an effect from that workshop or some of the other technologies that have been used. And he's looking for those testimonies in the last day here in particular. So he has a necessity for those. And if somebody has a testimony of changes that they've noticed that are unusual and beneficial from that workshop or the previous transmutation sessions, please send me the information or a link to where you might have put it, and I'll pass it on to Mr. Keshe.
And plus, Rick, one more thing, just because now that we talk about it, if you end up to be in one of those sessions where there are those tests, Mr. Keshe recommend to have a headphone. So now I don't know if computer or phone or laptop, I don't know if that makes a difference. Do you think if someone's got headphone and is on the computer, is it important? Anyway, easy to put a headphone. And if you have no headphone, you have to stay in a place where you have a stereo, I think, speaker, and see if you can, if you can see an effect. And also, he said, go ahead.
I'm not sure why he specified to use a iPhone or cell phone rather than a laptop or computer. But he seemed to indicate that if you're on a computer now, then to use the headphones would be a good idea. And I did that during that session, actually. So I don't know whether it was it seems that the quality of the sound is important somehow. So whether
didn't you
speakers or headphones. Go ahead, Mark.
Didn't you ask him about the wireless headphones as well? And I think he prefers wired system. He said you could try the wireless, but you may have some interference, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And also he said for who was not present, to when they're going to release in the workshop, to see if they felt anything, even with a recording. Yeah, this would be interesting.
He said it was so close, today's session, meaning that last workshop, was so close to the creation of time but we haven't really understood. He said, we create the conditions and you bring in the time. And again, he's been teaching about time, and we're still sort of battling with it, pondering about it. But this is the idea of the creation of time, and I think this is going forward. This is the new way of teaching, he said. This is where you understand yourself by yourself through your central energies, as I understand it. So this is a whole new cycle of teaching where they interfere and interact with your central energies, that you can understand more about yourself. So this is an advanced way of, as he said at one time, we're going to elevate the entire humanity in one go. So I think it may not be in 1 minute, but it may be in a very short period of time through these systems. This is what I'm understanding about it, because we haven't fully understood this energy side of our dimension. And I experienced this emotion of completeness just for a matter of moments near the end of the session, where I looked at the pen, I was taking some notes, and I looked at the paper, and I said, I don't need any of this. I don't need the physicality. And then right after that, a thought or an emotion came, and I just said that you're starting to put the knowledge together, or gaining confidence in understanding what I think I'm understanding about this knowledge. So those were my two experiences. I don't know if anyone else would like to share anything that they've experienced, either from the attendees or the participants. Just put your hand up. You don't have a mic, Rick will accommodate.
I think that others have expressed that as well. There's the one woman in the Brazilian testimonials who worked with her addiction for smoking cigarettes, and felt that she no longer had that addiction at the end of the workshop. And more importantly, she felt an elevation, that she could understand the things that Mr. Keshe was saying better, more clarity. I think that's even a bigger indication that you are elevating yourself to a different level, basically. When we start to understand more directly and don't have to struggle to understand things, they just come through naturally. So definitely I'm feeling that way too, that things are escalating and elevating, and it's fasten your seatbelts time. And I think the planet is getting an upgrade. And we're fortunate enough to be here to experience it.
Rick, going back to the knowledge and understanding that Stefania was talking about, there's a piece here, I'm just reading the transcript, and it goes on about world peace needs world understanding of the whole lot. And this is what we are busy with. And many knowledge seekers are helping in the background, working with it. So I think that many people are aware of the transmutation, the knowledge that's being shared. And then when you link this with some of the words that Mr. Keshe is now speaking about, we're starting to realize, the structure of, what's been put in place. Mr. Keshe, and it's been spoken about today, that you can create the time and the future. So then we read a little bit more of this, and it says, and then, yes, you can achieve world peace. It's not just talk. Otherwise, we become another structure. We have the technology, we have the access to the financial means of doing it. And we have access to bring in the change to do what is supposed to be done. 2 to 5 years maximum is doable. And then we'll see world peace. So then if we go with what Rick's got on the screen, this symposium of that's happening in Vienna on the 19th. And so we're talking about a revolutionary solution for psychology problems of human colonization in space. So if Elon Musk and the rest want to go to space, then the understanding would be very different from maybe what they've come to know. If they go through this transmutation position, then the knowledge that Mr. Keshe is sharing would be greatly required for them to actually, certainly to be able to go through in a physical form. And Mr. Keshe is giving away this information and doing this beautiful lecture that I know that will be much knowledge shared by Mr. Keshe. And this is on Saturday the 19th at 3 p.m. as Mr. Keshe has just spoken about. And it's like the World Congress of psychotherapy of 2025. And you can all take a time, place, and position. You can all tune into this, listen to the knowledge that's being shared. You don't have to be present in physicality for those that are in other parts of the world. There will come a time when this will not be a problem. But if you're very physical in this moment, then communication is through a digital line that connects you to the to the position of where the teachings are taking place and the knowledge is being shared. And it's Mr. Keshe is saying that there's going to be full knowledge, and you can get online day tickets, as I was just discussing, for 139 euros for live participation. So that from what I'm gathering from that, you will be able to interject and ask questions and interact with the knowledge. Obviously, the knowledge that is shared and the ethos of the foundation is that we let Mr. Keshe teach, and then we wait, and then when Mr. Keshe asks, "Would somebody like to ask a question?" Then is the moment to bring forward your question. The ethos of the foundation is we always wait for the person to finish speaking before we take a position to then interject and speak again. This is the complete understanding of the ethos of letting another soul deliver the energy transfer, connect, deliver the message, and then once it's received, then the next soul can come in and say something. So this beautiful understanding and ethos has served the foundation for many years. And you'll notice all the knowledge seekers, from time to time, we all jump in a little bit. But most of the time, it's an understanding of the beauty. And so this psychological knowledge adds to, being present and then receiving this elevation of the soul. So if you would like a full Congress online with 2-week replay for the online day tickets, which are 189, I don't know if there's still a discount for the Congress using this code that's on screen. Is that still applicable? Does anybody know this?
Yes.
It is, Mark.
Go ahead.
So you can still use this code. So special WCP without the exclamation marks at the end. So it's just special capital WCP, if that's what it says on screen. So capital S, then the rest is special, is PECIAL, which is in lowercase, and then uppercase WCP without the exclamation marks. And then you can receive 50% off of your online tickets. So for many people that have, many people teach and have much knowledge from books and educational, intellectual, degrees and things, be present, empty your cup, take in the knowledge. It's a gift. It's the next stage. It's an elevation. So be humble. Listen to what's being spoken about, and then once it's been delivered and you've absorbed it and you've understood it a little or a lot, then share your experiences of what you've come to know, and then we can have a very beautiful conversation where all the knowledge is come together. However, and this is not being higher or lower, but Mr. Keshe's knowledge is coming from a very different position, and his humbleness and his ability to be very patient with humanity has obviously been shown many, many times. So bring your beauty, understand you're part of a revolutionary solution, a solution, a real solution for a problem that will exist within, the space programs. And I'm sure they've already experienced it. And Mr. Keshe has a solution for this. So it's a great way to receive a gift, share it in the right way, and use it in the right way. Think, speak, and act. This cannot be used in the incorrect way. This is from peace on planet Earth, peace within the soul of man. This cannot be used for war games. There is no war with this technology. It is a peaceful application to bring about, the elevation of the soul and an understanding of peace within. So be present and receive this beautiful gift. Mark, I don't know if you'd like to say anything more.
Yeah, no, just wanted to add that one of the offers in the Keshe Foundation store will be presented at this conference, as I understand it. And this is the cosmic ray plasma transmutation system, and it has a lot of aspects to it, but especially balancing out these energy packs. But this, if Rick wants to show, Mr. Keshe said that unit would be available at the conference for doctors to test. I don't know if they'll be taking it home, they'll be testing it during the presentation, or how that will work. But this new system, I believe it's a cosmic ray plasma transmutation unit, which is a headset. And of course, it comes in a two-piece. The first one is just being developed and perfected right now, but this is what's going to be brought to the conference. And this is what Rick has just clicked on. So this is a Twinity system with a chest piece as well as a head piece. I think the chest will create the breathing conditions, or the lack of breathing. You'll still exist, you'll still absorb what you need, but perhaps some of the other things that we take in through the breath. So this will be what's presented. And again, it's not only, as he said, psychological problems for captains and passengers that needs to be understood, but also the weightlessness. He said this causes other problems, and we do need to learn how to create that 1G. Apparently very similar conditions on Earth. But yes, very exciting. And I'm sure many of the space agencies can see a solution to some of the things they've been trying to overcome or handle with some of the astronauts. I don't think a lot of that is brought into the public, although we've heard mention from Mr. Keshe about some of the, let's say, internal messes that the astronauts have created within these capsules and their environment. I think that's been remedied, but I'm not fully sure. But this system will help not only in space, but for very similar psychiatric or psychological conditions on this planet. So this is for sure a dual-use, multi-use technology.
And Mark, do you? Rick showed a price there of 799. I think it was 7,999. That's for a two-piece version, and one piece is 4,999. So, and we're talking euros here. So that's slightly a different perspective on the amount of energy exchange in a financial way compared to the trillions or millions or billions that are spent on these space programs. We're looking at a cosmic ray plasma energy transmutation device that maybe could take you to any time, place, and position once you understand the beauty of it and you connect. And we've learned through the teachings today that it has to be pure to reach this position. You cannot have any intentions that don't match, that aren't connected in the right way, because you will probably do yourself more harm than good if you try to do this. So come with a pure soul and heart, and maybe some of these astronauts will start transmuting and start taking new positions, and being able to experience various different positions and understandings across the universe. I remember it was spoken about many years ago that Mr. Keshe said that there will be a time when we will have, you will go into a position where you will go into a lecture or something, and you receive the knowledge of the place that you're going to. So an understanding of what environment you're going to walk into and what maybe you would look like if you want to be in a physical form, and what you will experience, what you need to understand. So you will receive these lectures and these understandings, so that when you arrive there, it's not a big surprise. This could be like a new holiday, a new theme park, a new, like these head devices. This digital revolution of the interaction of being present within your environment that you create. But then if you open up to the soul, maybe the soul will take you to another place and show you something very different to what you was expecting. But it will still be, a beautiful place for you to experience. And the choice will be yours. You will be a captain of your ship. And unlike this, maybe you can also, take a flight with a captain if you're not quite sure about this. So you can connect with the captain of another position. The captain of a soul who's very positioned and very elevated and understands the beauty and will protect you and take you to another place that you can experience the beauty. And remember, we all, as human beings, we all, very connected to the earth through the amino acid structure. But it has been spoken about the amino acid structure of, the unicos of other positions. And maybe that wouldn't always be in a physical form. It's just the understanding that we have because we're very physical. So we could all transmute and fly with a captain to another position, experience it, and come back and then share our experiences. And then gradually over a period of time, we come to know many different new understandings of other energies that are present in other dimensions. And these are the stepping stones, the little tiny baby steps that we need to take, we need to understand, to be able to venture out into a much bigger totality. We're so confined on our small little beautiful planet in our intentions, but once we open up to the ethos of the foundation of the Universal Council, of the universal community, then we're going to start to see the beauty of the creation in a much bigger way. And who knows, once that we step outside of the physicality and we step outside of our position that we've come to know, maybe you will become such a much bigger entity, not always in the weight, but the mass of it. Maybe you will become a much bigger entity according to your beauty that you possess and your understanding of where you'd like to be. So be present, and if you can, join us for this the next one, which is July the 25th. It is a transmutation with a captain, and so your soul will be guided by one of these 7 captains, and they will take you on a very beautiful journey. And you will enjoy this, and experience the creation, experience the elevation, and then come back into a position on planet Earth and be able to share the light, share the beauty of what you've experienced, so that the other souls can gather the knowledge and the energy that you've received, and you share it with the others. And as we listened to earlier, possession is a most beautiful thing when you share it, when you share the experience. So all are welcome. Mark, Rick, I don't know if you'd like to.
No, I think you
say
said
more.
something very interesting earlier, Dean, where you said if you think it, you create it. And Mr. Keshe had mentioned this misconduct by thoughts. And when I used to read the holy books, and Christ was saying, you know, if you hate within your heart, you have as much as committed it. And I always wondered, how could you do that if you're not really doing it in the physicality? But as Dean pointed out, you're creating just with your thoughts. So Mr. Keshe said, we need to work on this misconduct by thought. And I think that's where this ethos of Mitra, or the gift of the three wise men, come in, the thinking, speaking, and acting good. But I could never understand how you could commit something without physically committing it. But apparently this is a reality, Dean. You've confirmed that in a way, and I think you're correct.
We all have, we all know this. We all, if something comes along, I always look at it like a very simple thing. If you have a thought that comes along, and some people are very physical and they like to, you know, the tick-tock of the brain, the monkey brain, and they like to go back and forward and rationalize everything. And this is very intellectual, it's very beautiful, but it's the matter state condition of the brain. When you use the soul, which is like that energy pack in the middle, you know, that black hole, when you use that energy source, which is the creation point, you get a totally different understanding. So then the intellect, you know, merges and melts away, and the purity of the soul starts to interact so that you receive different energies. And this is where I think a lot of the captains, I know the captains, not all of them, but I know that the captains have received this knowledge. You know, they've received the universal creator knowledge, part of it. And they're able to help us to sense it, to feel it, to be part of it, to, you know, for the soul journey to take its position. And that all connects with the, you know, the Mark Ray Corporation, and all the technologies that are being released across the planet. And remember, the government, the world governments, some have already positioned themselves or are using this technology. And that means it's a different position, because they've become peaceful in their understandings. And Mr. Keshe always said, once one receives this, then the others will have no choice. We can all create conditions for a little while, but the creation point is a much, much bigger totality. It has full beauty. It would never harm. It would never judge, but it will give you everything and more. So be part of it. So take a flight with the captain from May, which is already obviously taking place, 2025 to July 2025. And this next one, as we've just heard, is on the 25th of July. And it's €500 per session plus VAT. And I think that's if you have the money available, and I know there's many beautiful people that are present, knowledge seekers, that have these sorts of monies. If you can share this and help another, even if you can't take it yourself, you don't feel ready, then share and donate it to somebody else. And then the soul that you know that you've given to will give back to you for a very long time, because you've elevated that soul. So there's many ways to do this, and you know, we all have a choice in this moment. So be the beauty, and you know, be part of the, you know, the captain of the ship of planet Earth that is going forth, and you know, going to be present in many multiple dimensions and difficult and different positions across the unicos. And some will maybe take a direct line back to a point that is the full, you know, understanding of everything. You know, that we know the spiral that can either go from a magnetical or gravitational position. And we always know that humanity was on the outskirts of this spiral. And with the knowledge that's being shared, gradually humanity is starting to be pulled in gravitationally towards the creator, towards the creation point, becoming peaceful, gaining knowledge, and being part of a universal community that has always been there and has a very big welcome and very big celebration for humanity in this moment. Thank you all. Please join.
All right. Next, we'll move into an excerpt from the 598th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. It's about, I think, a 9-minute excerpt about the live soul test. And let me share that now.
Today, for the first time, we interact during the teaching directly with the soul of the knowledge seekers. I have put on a panel in the back. If you have a headphone, use your headphone. And if you don't have a headphone, try to be somewhere in the system that you can hear like a stereo, and you can have a joint link with us. We are testing a new cycle, new way to teach. In a way, we are still one missing, number 4, please. There's one unit 4 to come up. We are testing to bring you all to learn how to interact with the central energy of your system, your body, and at the same time to run what we call repair parallel system. What does this mean? Every part of a system has to be perfect for it to be able to transmute, for it to be able to reach the point of what we call the understanding of how to travel the span of the universe. Today's teaching is part of that process, which we used to do every Friday, once a month, with knowledge seekers. Today we are testing something very interesting that we would like to see how you feel, how you test yourself, and how you change and affect your change in the next days, coming weeks, and the rest of it, how more easily you can reach to understand the difference between the dream and reality, and what is actually yourself. If you have any problem, please do not listen to the teaching of today, because this teaching is controlled by us very much in parallel with all the teachings of the past, which means we are dictating the terms of changing the inner energy. In a way, we are interfering with the cycle of understanding of yourself by yourself. You will understand exactly what I'm talking about, but knowledge seekers who are familiar with the work of the Keshe Foundation, you've been in many sessions, use your headphones and enjoy the trip. And let us know how you feel. Let us know how you understand different than any other teaching of the past. We have over 3,000 lines available on the channels that people can join if there are other knowledge seekers who want to enjoy the trip.
Mr. Keshe says, sorry to interrupt, there's a question, are wireless headphones okay?
Try it. If you don't get interference, try it. This is, we did not announce this beforehand, as we didn't want to get people coming in and just be there. We wanted to knowledge seekers who are always here to listen. But what will be interesting is those of you who listen afterwards. If you get the same effect through the emotion of the fields, and how this will bring changes to you in many ways. Do you suffer from Alzheimer's? Do you suffer from anxiety? Do you suffer from what we call addiction? Do you have problems in balancing? Do you have any kind of physical changes? Do you have skin rashes? Do you have eczema? Do you suffer from what we call
anxiety attacks? Do you have asthma? Do you see any kind of condition which you might see? Observe them, because this is not a medicine. This is in the way you're repairing yourself. We have developed the technology to reach the man in space. And now, today, we tested to see how many of you actually become recipient and how you interact with yourselves. We do not add anything. We do not do anything. We do not feed medicine or anything. It's just that we have created the environment for conditions that you are not aware of, but you always live within. This comes part of the teaching. This is part of what we said about the time, place, space, and position, and intellect, and enlightenment. There is a cycle of knowledge which man has not understood, but man has full information about it, never been put in the sequence of the events. This is the way what we do today is a parallel to what will happen on the 19th of July in Vienna in the conference, in the presentation of the technology to reach beyond the boundaries of the human knowledge. What is important for us is to understand how we create time, connected to the physical side, which is the place, position, and possession, and to the energy side, which is the emotion, intellect, and what we call enlightenment. Mankind has to understand the connection between the two and the link between the two, where the emotion is the link between the world of physicality and the world of energy. How does this work? We know it, we do it, and we just been there. We never had to understand it. But now we have to understand it because it creates a time. Physically, you have the place, the position, and the possession. Place in the womb, position, child, possession. Two messed up, mixed up plasmas, two different characteristics coming together, and you have the physical side. The emotion side comes from the love of a man and a woman who want to create that child. And when, and does not matter being aware of or unaware of dimension of the soul, lead to creation of the child. The time starts. The physical place, position, and possession cannot come into leading to existence of life if the emotion is not there, the love to reproduce, to set up, to be done. It does not matter if it's done by consent of we love each other, we want to make a child, or any other conditions, forced and unforced, not known, but the souls are aware of, even though physicality is not. Because you have to understand, when I got accidentally pregnant and accidentally we didn't plan happened, does not exist. Because up to now you ignore the energy side. What did you do? What is the plan for that child to bring the changes in the future? And what you've done, that plan is set by the soul. I got raped and I got pregnant. What was the reason and what is set for the future? The soul have decided. Now you understand, nothing is accidental. The time is chosen by the souls. The physicality executes the time.
Okay, that's our first excerpt from the 598th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. You see, we have another one. Let me get that set up here. Okay, I think I've got that set up here. Let's play that now.
Picture of today. This is the interaction of the soul and the physicality in a beautiful way. And what is nice, what you see. The size of the top left to the bottom, it shows we still need maturity. These two have to be the same size. One is still feeding the other. This is the structure with the bottom one, which is a smaller one, is the more powerful one, is the soul side. And the one on the left is the structure of the brain of the man, energy. So there's a lot of need on the positive to negative, or what we call to expansion. And when these two, hopefully, we'll have a look at this again if it's there next week in the session, see how this has changed. And then how we can change it. Then when it's become harmonized, equalized, this is where you all be transmuting. This is how mass teaching will start. This is how we transfer knowledge into dimensions of the soul, and any things which is not correct in the dimension of the what we call the structure of the energy of the brain. Thank you very much for today, and we'll see you next week. Don't forget, people who want to come to
Okay, that's our next excerpt. Now we'll go back to our workshop. And it's time for transmutation. I think that means Moshfek is up.
Hello, everyone. It will be a bit noisy. I'm in a little bit more noisy environment, as if what you hear from my usual place is not enough. But anyway, as we all know, as we engage our soul side, the noisy dimension or the physical dimension become less of an issue. So let's get your soul ready and let's see what we can do during this time of transmutation. The last time we were talking about a child's experience of converting his or her enlightened wish to dreams, and dreams in turn became the reality of what that wish was. Now, today, Stefania talked about last week's Knowledge Seekers workshop about the energy transfer over the generations. As children are born, they carry. The child's life is a cycle. the child is born and then lives his or her life and then dies. That's one cycle. But there are bigger cycles happening as things get transmitted over generation at the energy level, and the actions and the thoughts that preceded the child in the previous generations become part of a bigger cycle, which in turn affects the child's life and the things that happen. As we know, this is done in the soul dimension or the energy dimension completely. So, and so is our destiny then set? What are we to do under this kind of circumstances? Yes, our parents, grandparents, and beyond, they lived their life, some knowing a little more than others. And as we all know, some of the things are very similar to us, some are a bit different. Their thoughts and action and all that, there are many wars that have been fought, many misdeeds that have happened on this planet over the generations. So are we to pay for those or answer for those? So how do we play our part in this transfer of energy across larger cycle of time? How do we transmute this energy that comes to us? The thought of transfer across the generation is not uncommon in the part of the world, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and that kind of like Asian region of the world. And we actually have the saying that, a person's thoughts and action affects 7 generations in the past and in the future. So you can see this energy level transfer idea is present in common understanding of average people. But now, with that understanding, it helps. People should be more circumspect, their thoughts and action and all that. But Mr. Keshe also mentioned in the last Gnostic workshop that it's not just a few generations, it's 500 generations, if not more. So, I mean, if you think a few generations was a big mess, but 500 generations, how do we deal with that? So, so anyway, so the thing is that knowing that this happens, we can bring positive energy intention and serve the people at the highest possible energy level we can reach through the connection with the Creator. The connection may not be perfect, but our attempt to reach will take us way far than we can possibly imagine. So it's the energy level. We are essentially linking up with the universal conduct at the highest level, or attempting to. Yes, it will take us some effort on our part, but when we serve the creation in the best possible manner, then we are operating at the sort of the biggest possible cycle, that is the zero-time cycle. So any cycle below that can be 500 generations, 5 million generations, doesn't matter. At the zero-time level of energy, anything can be changed. So once we can elevate our conduct and thoughts at the level of zero time, we can operate beyond the cycles within which we are bound, the cycle of, generations. We are no longer our bindings to the physicality is no longer a constraint, because we are completely operating in the zero time in the universal dimension. And then from there, we can come to the physicality with the emotion at that level, the level of zero time, and the enlightenment that comes with it, the intelligence that develops as a result of it, and the emotion that is the result that's present in that condition, then that can lead to the physicality, which is the possession, place, and the position, and the time, which is a new time, the time for peace and prosperity. Does it matter whether it's 7 generations, 500 generations? We are not breaking the cycle. We are superseding the cycle. And that's a very different way of looking at it, outside the bounds of physical time. And for that, yes, do we have to learn to do it? Yes, sure. It is not a task that we do it in a short time, because we have been bound to this cycle of physicality way too long and conditioned within this environment. But we are learning. We are becoming more aware of our soul's dimension and its operation by practicing. So once again, the practice comes into play. We don't have to, go to the highest level of the field strength, but we can operate at, something small in our physicality, something small in our family environment, something small in our society. I would even call it something small on our planet. And these are the preparation for actually traveling to the space. Because once we are able to operate at this level of physicality, bringing thoughts and understanding of conduct and action from the world of energy to this physicality at different scales, by serving others, we are in a better position to explore the further reaches of the universe. Yes, it is space travel, but much more than we have bargained for so far with spaceships and so forth. And well, of course, this leads to the universal community. But as they say, even the energy level work starts at home, between the soul of man and the soul of physicality. So manifesting and bringing things at this level, although it may seem small, but as they say, a small step can become a giant step if we travel the realms of energy in the universal context. And the time cycles that we are used to, our lives of our forefathers and so forth, is then, it becomes different. We set a new time. New time, not in the sense of ignoring what is there, but learning from them that we must supersede this kind of condition and move into the universal condition. And then the universe is there for us to explore and enjoy. It's not that we leave the physicality, we bring the two worlds together. I hope that this makes some sense, and thank you very much. And we'll come back the next time.
Thank you, my dear Moshfik. Thank you so much. As you said, it's so enlightening. I mean, I will say that the commandment, thou shalt not possess, works here so much, like when you understand that you don't need this position, and you go back to that that within the inner self, the soul of man and the soul of physicality, and you will understand that you created this zero time, like zero time, and this zero time, in that you have this time for this balance to create, and you balance to create this space to understand. This is how we transmute. And in physicality also, I have seen many, like uh, many they have been cured in a way, um, uh, from chronic diseases like cancer, like TB, like many other chronic diseases, and they have cured only changing their lifestyle. I have seen my one of my uncle and auntie. They have no children, but auntie has cancer in her uterus, and she was became lean and thin and, like emotionally drained. Always, people are always asking her. She was so much drained, answering them. And then the uncle was in a very high position, and he has a big house and a small car, and and a big car, 2 or 3 cars, and dogs, and lavish life. But then suddenly, my uncle decided that her wife, she also decided, auntie, that she has to take leave out of this. She don't like this anymore. She don't need these type of conditions anymore. And they left that house. Even uncle has left the job, and he has transferred himself to in a mountainous region in Darjeeling, and bought a small house of 1 bedroom, kitchen, and a dining room, and a small drawing room. And auntie used to work for herself. They have no maid. And then after a few years, then we heard that um, uh, auntie is fully really gets relief from cancer, and both of them lived a very joyous life. Still they are here. I mean, they love each other so much, and I am so inspired with them. Kind of, uncle was so simple person, and they just transmuted in this, creating this zero time for them to understand that what actually what they need, and that creates this emotional balance. So yes, Moshik, it's so beautiful. You said that creating this zero time is the fulfillment of this commandment, thou shalt not possess. And this is so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute.
Okay, let's move on to our next position. I
Yes.
think there's I'm prompted that there's invitation to share the testimony for products, monthly sessions, and all about Keshe Foundation.
Vic, if we skip for the portion today, is that okay? I mean,
Oh yeah, okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, my dear. And in the website, all the products are there. Please go through the website. And in the donation section also, you can donate, dear beautiful souls, if you have this ability to create and elevate all souls. That is the way in this soul realm, everything works in this way. So, thank you. And here are the needs and wishes, dear beautiful souls. And I welcome you, Dean, my dear. Thank you.
Thank you, Sweta. Yeah, I would like to read this wish, please. So the needs and wishes. We, the Universal Council, give freely our soul to elevate the soul of the leaders to achieve peace in the Middle East now, when we are present.
We, the Universal Council, give to our souls that Russia and Ukraine can find peace for the sake of all the families of the planet. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We,
Oh, okay. Oh, go on, please.
we, the Universal Council, elevate the souls, our brothers and sisters of India and Pakistan for peace and enlightenment now, and we are present.
We, the Universal Council, through our central energy, create an opening for Mr. Keshe to become a senior advisor to the United States and other nations on domestic and foreign policy to continue the plasma revolution, advance space technology in exchange for peace and peaceful employment for all. Our wish is our command. We are present. Thank you, my dear Rick. So we are here to serve, not to be served, dear beautiful souls. And I welcome you again. Welcome, welcome to Swagatam into the beautiful, beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. Join the symposium, attend the symposium, help others to attend the symposium in elevating humanity, getting out of this mental suppression from yawns to be in clear space, breathing clearly as before we were. So again, I will say, please join X platform also and help others to get the teachings of universal creators, I will say. Thank you so, so much. And as we are all universal souls, be in love, be in joy, be in abundance of peace, light, and enlightenment, beautiful souls. Thank you so, so much. The Universal Council. Salam, namaste, salute.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Shweta. And of course, thanks to all the members and support members of the Universal Council for putting together today's presentation and for presenting it. And we are thankful for their presence on our planet. And we'll be back again next week with another episode of the One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace. And we also have the Knowledge Seekers Workshop coming up on Thursday. That's July 17th. And I'm sure Mr. Keshe will have plenty more to report and to teach about as far as the knowledge of the universe and continuing the efforts of the Keshe Foundation and Mark Ray in bringing peace and prosperity through the technology. Okay, I think that wraps it up for today, other than our little bit of music to go out with.
Yes. The music of dance, love, and beauty. Dance, dance, and clap, clap, dear beautiful soul. So blessings of Ma. Always. Thank you so much.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Shweta, for your enthusiastic segue here. And thank you, everyone, for attending today's workshop. And we'll see you in the next public teaching workshop. Bye for now.